Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another weather forecast, and I'm going to be merging into the winter storm mode now after talking about severe weather for the past few days. We are watching out for a very significant snowstorm all the way from the deep south central all the way up to portions of the coastal New England area. So we're actually watching out for a pretty significant snowstorm, and it has been trending a lot more towards as well the southeast. This is actually going to be, I'd say, not unexpected, but definitely not a it wasn't definitely forecasted in the long out to be very significant for the southeast, but in the past few days, models, including the HRR, NAM, had now really been jumping on this, and we are now watching out for really heavy snow already unfolding across the south central, where we got severe weather yesterday, but we had enhanced as getting snow today, and that's going to be moving all across the lower elevation or lower Appalachian Mountains, and then make its way towards the coastal mid-Atlantic. But we do have winter weather advisories all the way as far south as portions of south central or of north central Louisiana. You heard it. Louisiana has a winter weather advisory, but that snow's going to start to make its way at this point right now across the areas near Memphis. All of Tennessee is under some type of winter weather alert. We do have those winter weather advisories in those purple counties, including Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, and as well as southern Kentucky, and making its way all the way up towards Virginia and West Virginia. And as you go closer to the mid Atlantic, we actually have a higher chance to see really significant snowfall, probably over 2 feet of snow across these areas where we'll be watching out for a really significant storm. We already have winter storm warnings across portions of the Great Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, North Carolina, and then making its way into the Appalachians, into Virginia and West Virginia near areas near Roanoke. And then we do have those watches across portions near Baltimore and Delmarva Peninsula. And probably by later today, we will have a lot more winter storm warnings across Virginia and the Delmarva Peninsula. And then we'll probably get a few winter weather advisories later on along the Long Island area, coastal New Jersey, and all of that. Actually, we may see probably nearly 2 feet of snow in coastal New Jersey. This is going to be a really significant snowstorm. It's actually going to be mainly based for the southeast and the coastal mid Atlantic. It's not going to be a huge storm for the higher elevations in the northeast or the Great Lakes. It's actually going to be favoring areas in the south, whether it's the coast of the mid Atlantic or the actual deep southeast. So this is going to be a really significant snowstorm, and I actually may get some snow. I'm just a county away from the winter weather advisory, but models have been trending to more snow for me, so we will see what I get. I'm gonna go ahead and explain to you guys the overall surface maps for today. Why this storm is kind of coming out of nowhere when you probably think it would have happened probably yesterday with the big trough and cold front, but actually no, because the cold front, the really significant severe weather, the cold front was really far west, and it's finally making its way towards the southeast. So that's why the snowstorm is going to be happening today. And then we have a low pressure right here along a basically, or actually we have two low pressures, one across Alabama, one across Louisiana. It's going to be the one I believe in Louisiana that's going to cause this. You're going to be having as well as severe weather throughout today, as you're going to be seeing a stationary boundary as well as some warmer air in the warm sector. So we're going to be seeing a lot today. We do have a slight risk for severe weather, may go enhanced, and then we have as well a significant snowstorm setup. So by 18Z, there you see that low pressure across now, finally making its way to Alabama. You're going to be seeing a really significant cold front going all around the Gulf Coast, which is why we're going to be seeing snow this far south. And look how far east that cold front is. So all these areas across the Mississippi River Basin are going to be well below freezing. So this is going to be the A plus on the side of the storm, because this is going to be pretty far east pretty early on. And they're going to be seeing as well another low pressure along up here, and this is going to bring in that cold air for the upper northeast. And this will take a big role in how large the snowstorm is later on. And then as we go towards 0Z, this low pressure is now making its way towards the northeast. So it's now going to start to get closer to the Appalachian Mountains. There's that stationary boundary. Then you have a really significant cold front up here, and another cold front. So this really significant cold front along right here in the northeast is going to be the reason why we're going to be seeing those below freezing temperatures already all across this area. So once this low pressure makes its way into the mid-Atlantic, we're going to be seeing really heavy snow because it's going to be well below freezing. As we now go to 6Z, we're going to be seeing that low pressure now making its way towards upstate South Carolina. and there's that really significant cold front. So that cold front's not going to be all the way up towards eastern Georgia. So now we're going to be seeing a lot of snow now making its way into the southeast Appalachians, and as well as southwest Appalachians across portions of Alabama and Georgia. And we're going to be seeing some really heavy snow across the Great Smoky Mountains overnight into the early morning hours. And there's that slight warm front, which is going to bring that severe weather today. And then you have that really, really large cold front. So you're going to be seeing two large cold fronts on both sides of the low pressure. So it's going to be a perfect setup for a widespread area of snowfall. So those higher elevations and as well kind of west of that low pressure, we're going to be seeing that snow. So southeastern Kentucky, east central Tennessee, northeast Georgia, much of Alabama actually. Tuscaloosa may get snow. We may see some snow for Jackson, Mississippi. And as we now go to 12Z, now this low pressure is making its way all the way up towards North Carolina. So there's that cold front. And you see the other cold fronts now as this low pressure makes its way further to the northeast. It is going to favor now areas along the mid-Atlantic. And we're going to be seeing probably extremely heavy snow across this area, maybe even blizzard conditions, or not. It's not going to be a blizzard per se, but we are going to be seeing whiteout conditions across even the deep southeast, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia may see some whiteout conditions because of how strong the gusts are going to be. For example, I'm already forecasted to have 30 miles an hour, and if I do get snow, it's going to be really low visibility, especially if it's at night. And as we go to 0 Tuesday, it should be out. So it's going to be a very fast moving storm, but considering how strong this low pressure is, it's going to be pretty strong at nearly the 990s. Considering how strong and steep this low pressure will be, it's going to bring in really, really heavy snow. So let's now go ahead and get a look here at the overall NAM 3 kilometer latest 12Z. I believe 18Z model runs are going to actually uptrend compared to the 12Z models. But here's the overall look again. You're going to start seeing that snow developing along the Mississippi River Basin as well. That's where you're going to be seeing those below freezing temperatures. And notice how far west that freezing temperatures are going to be, because how kind of cold, or how kind of far east that cold front is as well. A little bit kind of towards along or east of that cold front, we're going to be seeing that severe weather across Georgia. Could definitely see some potential significant tornadoes. But again, I'm more focused on the snowstorm because that's going to be a lot more significant. Gonna be seeing as well as snow showers, possibly heavy snow showers in some cases along western Mississippi, as well getting towards Memphis. Memphis might get a few inches of snowfall. Getting towards now the Murray area in Kentucky. And as this low pressure now starts to steepen here, you're gonna be seeing a lot heavier precipitation as well. Gonna be seeing that severe weather threat for South Carolina. Could definitely see some discrete storms there, but there's that really heavy snow there. Now making its way by 3 a.m. across northwest Georgia. Again, I can't forget about Tuscaloosa. Tuscaloosa may get some really good snow. Birmingham may get some really good snow. As well, Columbus, and as well overall, just in those areas in that enhanced risk severe weather threat, yes, you're going to get really heavy snow. Nashville going to get really heavy snow in the overnight hours. Could start to see that snow, though, as early as 8 p.m. And then we're going to start seeing that snow making its way towards southeast Kentucky. Very, very heavy. Now you know what I'm talking about when it comes to the whiteout conditions. We're going to be seeing really heavy snow with very strong winds at the 30 to 40 mile an hour gust as well. Very heavy snow though by 4 in the morning across North Georgia. Those Great Smoky Mountains going to get absolutely obliterated by heavy snow. And considering how heavy the snow will be, although it's going to be fast moving, it's going to bring in some really good snowfall. But notice how we're going to be seeing rain across the Delmarva Peninsula at 12 in the morning. That's because it's going to be very warm in the 50s. But as this large cold front to the north of that low pressure moves in very rapidly, we're going to be seeing a sharp temperature gradient and as well favorable for snow. So definitely a big setup for portions of the Mid-Atlantic. Could see possibly nearly a foot and a half over that, probably across areas of western Virginia as well, southeastern and West Virginia. I say maybe the Great Smoky Mountains may get really good snow. And then as well for areas near the Delmarva Peninsula, including as well Delaware may get very heavy snow. Baltimore may get really good snow. DC may get some really good snow as well with the latest the latest NAM model. As well, even look at southern New Jersey. Atlantic City is going to get absolutely obliterated by the snow. And then once the backside that low pressure moves in, we could get some snow for everything. Maybe Raleigh, Winston-Salem, maybe across the Virginia Beach and that general area. But it's definitely going to be a really big setup for areas across southern Mid-Atlantic. But let's go ahead and get a look at the latest HRRR. I thought I had it pulled up here, but I guess not. Now, the HRR is definitely, I'd say, a lot more significant than the latest NAM 3 kilometer, which has a lot there. You're going to be seeing very good snow across the eastern Arkansas area. Actually, we saw some snow earlier across Little Rock. I believe it's still going on there as well. You're gonna be seeing that ice and freezing rain through across Louisiana. And there you see now by already in the next few hours, you're going to start to see that snow pretty widespread across western Kentucky, western Tennessee, western Mississippi. It's definitely a lot more widespread already than the NAM 3 kilometer. Really good snow as we're getting towards the Louisville area. And then as you go towards now 8 p.m., 9 p.m., there you see that severe weather threat across the Carolinas. Definitely could see some good embedded supercells as well. Pretty good environment, however, there is a very thin warm sector. Um, but yeah, definitely be a pretty thin and warm sector, so we're not going to be seeing a huge time frame of those that peak tornado threat. But I wouldn't doubt we do get a 10 sig. I mean, we are going to be seeing some pretty good supercells along east central Georgia, even as well to southwestern Georgia, as well even portions there of east central South Carolina could get some good supercells. But there you see, by 10 p.m., that storm's now really just absolutely hammering Tennessee, northern Alabama, including Tuscaloosa, Florence, Huntsville, as well as gonna get really heavy snow. Gonna be seeing that as well. Heavy snow now making its way towards Nashville, southeastern Kentucky, and now it's gonna make its way by 2 in the morning. Already pretty widespread now into now at this point all the way from east central and southern Alabama, all the way up towards the Virginia. Is gonna be seeing some really good snow across portions of Virginia, West Virginia, including Charleston. Could get some really good snow across now. Southeastern Kentucky, East Central Tennessee, and as well Alabama's gonna get absolutely obliterated by the snow as well. Could make its way towards Atlanta. Atlanta could get some good snow as well, the north central and northwestern Georgia areas. But the HPR is very significant for the mid Atlantic to say the least. I mean, look at that. Already bringing snow for Philadelphia, heavy snow for Baltimore. It's definitely a lot more to the north. So if the HPR were to verify, we're gonna be seeing a huge storm for Washington D.C., Philadelphia, Baltimore, and it's gonna be a lot less significant, I'd say, the least for like areas near the southeastern coast of Virginia, but really significant snow as well. But getting all the way to Long Island. Look at New Jersey getting absolutely obliterated on the southern side. I mean, this could very well bring in whiteout conditions all across D.C., Baltimore, and these really big metropolitan areas. So this could very well be a very significant storm, even though it does not seem like it. This could very well be one of our most significant storms of the year, considering the population. And then look at this now by already now late morning tomorrow, going to bring really heavy snow across now Delmarva as well towards Coastal Virginia, Annapolis as well in Maryland. And then it could bring some really heavy snow showers for a few hours across Raleigh, and it could definitely be enough at this point. The cold front will be pretty far east, so that'll be bringing some accumulation down there. But let's now look at the overall latest GFS. They're actually pretty big run, I'd say. There's that low pressure at 1,003 millibars, and there's that really heavy snow all across areas of Tennessee, Alabama. Could definitely see some really good snow across that area. And then there you see now by 4 in the morning. Look at this now, actually bringing snow for me right here. So this will be really fun if this were to occur. But there you see that low pressure is really strong at 994 millibars. There you see that really heavy snow to the northwest of that low pressure. So the GFS were to verify, we'd be seeing probably nearly 2.5+ feet across the Great Smoky Mountains as well into West Virginia. And there it is now, actually brings snow as well pretty far north as well. The GFS and HFR are pretty similar. So if you were in this general area right here across like the Great Smoky Mountains and then as well across the Mid Atlantic, you guys are gonna get absolutely obliterated by this snowfall. Let's look at the overall snowfall accumulations here. There's that snow cover all the way from Arkansas as well, even Louisiana, all the way up towards the coast there. But notice how the worstness is just say just outside of the coastal New England area. So areas like Newport and like New Haven that just missed this. As well, even Long Island may just miss it by a few miles. But there's that good snow cover across the East Mississippi River Basin there. Gonna be seeing possibly anywhere from I say an inch to 3 inches across areas near northern Mississippi, eastern Arkansas. Could see some really good snowfall as well across the East Central Tennessee or West Central Tennessee areas. Could see possibly anywhere from 3 to 5 inches. Really good snowfall. As well, could see some snow nearly as well across the Ohio River Valley. We could get maybe a trace for Illinois, a trace for Missouri. As well, could get maybe a trace near Louisville. As well, could get some good snow near Mayfield and as well near areas near Murray. Nashville could probably get 3 inches. But look at the snowfall there for areas near Alabama could probably get nearly 5 inches or more across north central Alabama. Could see maybe very good snow getting very close to the metro Atlanta area as well. Could see some really good snow all across anywhere across this general area for snow. Could definitely get anywhere from a trace and maybe 4 inches. It's gonna be very uncertain. But notice how this low pressure as it steepens is gonna be get really, really, really strong. Um, and be seeing, and we may actually get nearly over a foot across some cases in Georgia. Could get a huge spot right or a huge area across the Great Smoky Mountain Peak right there, nearly maybe over maybe a foot and a half. Could as well get as we go to Virginia. This is gonna be a huge storm. This is the H.R. Like I said, this could be one of our biggest storms of the year, and probably one of the biggest storms in the Mid Atlantic in a while. We may get probably nearly 2 feet for Washington D.C. We may get nearly 30 inches near the Mid Atlantic. Let me actually go to the Mid Atlantic in general. Look at this right here. We may get nearly 30 inches across some areas. There is definitely a possibility. But look at that. Nearly a foot for portions there of New Jersey, coastal New Jersey. Look at the big difference here. This, you just draw the line. I mean, Philadelphia may get anywhere from 3 inches to like 8 inches. Look at this sharp difference here. New York City, nothing, but just to the south, to get really almost a foot of snow. Could as well, like I said, with that backside low pressure, we could get a few inches there for areas in north central North Carolina, maybe a few inches there as well near the Virginia Beach area, maybe 2 inches, 3 inches as well. But areas like Roanoke and as well as much of Virginia and much of the coastal Mid Atlantic get absolutely obliterated. Baltimore, Delmarva Peninsula, north central and northern Virginia, all these good areas are going to get absolutely obliterated. Here's an area 3 kilometer actually has a snow cover very far south as portions of near Montgomery, uh, Hattiesburg. So this is going to bring in some really good snow to the south. There you see a lot less than the north, and a lot less intense for areas of the Mississippi, Tennessee, and Arkansas area. You're gonna be seeing maybe a few inches there. Definitely not as widespread as the H.R. And the area starts to amplify across Alabama and Tennessee. It could get some spots across Alabama, even including your Birmingham, may get nearly 3 to 4 inches. Snowfall could see some good snow, even Tuscaloosa. Tuscaloosa may get maybe 2 3 inches. Could see probably Nashville may get maybe an inch or three, as well as a really amplified northwestern or north central Georgia may get nearly a foot or even more. This is because how steep this low pressure is going to be. That this is going to be a really, really heavy snowfall. If this were to be a really weak low pressure, this storm will be very minimal. But look how significant the snowfall is going to be. Actually, it has snowfall for Atlanta, so Atlanta may get some really good snowfall with this. It's going to be really, really. This storm's going to be really, I'd say, it's gonna be very weird. Like it may bring in nothing for some areas, and then it may bring in 5 inches for some areas. That's a big difference, especially for the south. But as we now look at the mid Atlantic, going to be seeing some really significant snowfall still. Pretty consistent. Pretty consistent. It does have more snow towards the Virginia Beach area, as well. Maybe get near 6 7 inches there across areas in southern Virginia, but it's definitely a lot less intense for Washington D.C. And notice how you go from nearly a trace to nearly over a foot and a half for Washington D.C. There's gonna be a lot of questions here on what's gonna happen. And if we look at the GFS has had pretty similar towards, I'd say, the latest HRR. I mean, it's gonna be the same as well. Look at the Mid Atlantic. I mean, look at these areas. Nashville may get 3 inches, may get a few inches there across northern Alabama and northern Mississippi. But look at the Mid Atlantic here. I mean, look at that. We're gonna be seeing nearly 22 inches. And look at that, nearly 20 inches near Washington D.C. It's gonna be a lot of inconsistency, and this is just gonna be a storm where you just have to wait to see what you get because models are kind of all over the place. But I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys later.